Hello, and we are live. If you can hear me, just maybe say something in the chat. Good to be here with you on this December 15th. Wow, we're getting right up to the holidays, and things have been busy here at Open Owl Studios. Really excited with the progress on all of our projects. We've been rocking and rolling on many different things, and right now specifically, we're diving deep into Mythwind fulfillment. And so, you know, if you have any questions about our projects, whether it's Mythwind, Stone Saga, or Stars, feel free to just holler, ask in the comment section. I'll get to them. And my plan is to kind of walk through a little bit of the state of each of our projects, where we're at, where we're going, what you can expect from us in the next kind of few weeks and few months. So first things first, let's dive into Mythwind. So Mythwind is fulfilling right now. The game is kind of in a different state all over the world. It arrived in our Canadian fulfillment center, I believe yesterday. So I got unloaded, it got checked. There was a few kind of missing expansion pieces that were supposed to be packed from China. So there'll be a handful of people that will get a split shipment. Some of the elements from Canada, and the rest will come up from the States when that happens. And I think a lot of them are going to be in the mail before Christmas, which is great. I'm not too sure when they'll be delivering. You know, the postal system kind of always gets pretty jammed right around now. The container is the American container. I believe is on its way to our warehouse in Chicago, and that should be shipping out starting next week, I believe. And the tentative plan, I believe, is to have all of the shipments in the mail kind of towards the end of the year, maybe into January, just a tad. So the games will be arriving kind of towards the end of the year in the States, and into January. So that is there. Europe is pretty similar kind of timeline to America, and Australia and New Zealand is the Aetherworks has the copies of Mythwind, and I think we were told that they're going to start pretty soon, and when they start, it'll take roughly about a week for them to finish kind of fulfilling. So all that to say, Mythwind is coming your way. It is coming hot, and we're the whole team. We're kind of besides ourselves, in anticipation of what everyone is going to think. Mythwind is such a unique game, right? It's this kind of cozy game, perfect for winter season. So it's arriving at a great time. Brew yourself a hot beverage, and either set up solo or with some friends, and you just kind of get to experience this other world in a game that's kind of unlike any other board games out there. And I hope this isn't I don't believe this is hyperbole, because it is really something special, and I'm excited for you all to receive it. And a couple of interesting things kind of with Mythwind. We spent so much time making the game, and not just in development, but also in the process, the manufacturing, and the fulfillment. It's been a long journey. So hey, massive thank you for those of you who have been with us for the past 2 years on our Mythwind journey. Hasn't been short. It's been a little bumpy at times, but we're here, and we're excited. And one of the decisions that we ended up making, people asked if Mythwind was going to be in retail stores, and the answer is no. And it's not. The only retail stores that is going to show up in are the ones who place an order directly through us. So I think there's going to be some like 401 Games, some online retailers purchase a few dozen copies, and some like local stores purchase some. But by and large, it has been a Kickstarter exclusive. So if you purchase the Kickstarter game, that those are the only copies of the English version of Mythwind available. Now, see, this is different in our languages, because our language partners, French, Spanish, German, Italian, Polish, they are all they purchase extra copies, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 copies from us, and we fulfilled their German copy. So they did all the translation of the game, right, for our Kickstarter backers, and then they have the right to, they have to make the money, make the money back that they spent on translation, and so they can sell the games in their language and in their regions, and so the question is, hey, if you're like, there's gonna be so many people who were maybe on the fence and they weren't quite sure about whether or not they could commit to Mythwind off the bat 2 years ago, and they're like, hey, how can I get my hands on a copy? If you're an English person, the current answer is you can't get your hands on a copy, but but we are going to, and we'll have a little announcement coming up. We are going to do a Mythwind reprint campaign on Kickstarter after all of the games fulfill. Right now, we're tentatively targeting March. So we want to kind of have a quick turnaround, because the game's going to be really exciting. It's going to be an exciting moment for people to be getting their copies of Mythwind, and we want the people who felt like they missed out on the first time to go and to be able to have a place to back it. And then for us, it being a Mythwind, it's gonna be real quick as far as our turnaround time goes. We are planning on releasing just some small extra pieces of content, and hopefully the people who have played the game, when you dive into it, you'll either decide, hey, I want some extra content, or maybe not. Either way, that'll be an up to you decision. But yeah, so the plan, hey, this is, like, I think the first time I've said this publicly. So March 2024, there will be a Mythwind reprint campaign, and we'll share the links and everything afterwards. So maybe you're like, oh, I forgot, I missed out on the Sundrop miniatures, or there's this add-on I wanted. You'll have the opportunity to get all of those things during the reprint campaign. And if you just want a copy of Mythwind English, that is going to be the place to get it. So Mythwind reprints coming March 2024. Really excited, and you'll start seeing a lot from us about that, especially in the new year. And we are there's an announcement coming, but I think after that reprint campaign, so we'll have a bunch of Kickstarter exclusives and stuff. But after that reprint campaign, our goal is to try to get into stores, get into your friendly local gaming store, because we feel that Mythwind has potential to be be an evergreen game, to be a game that people are going to want to play for a long time, and that's exciting. And so we will have some announcements on that in the future. But suffice to say, if you backed the original version of Mythwind, and you got yourself an English copy, you're the only people who have the English copies of the game. And we won't be selling any extras on our website. Like I said, there's some retailers who purchase directly from us, but no distribution, nothing. And so that's Mythwind. We're really excited about that. And okay, so I'm gonna move on. If you have questions about Mythwind, feel free to continue to ask in the chat, and I'm going to jump into Stone Saga. And I'm actually Doc. Hey, Doc, good to see you. Asked the question about Stone Saga shipping notification. So Stone Saga has not shipped yet. We're actually, so we're a little bit delayed with Stone Saga, and so we've hired some staff in the past couple of months, and there's a few things that we're working on, and one of the things we're working on is our timelines. We're trying to get better on our timelines, recognizing that delays aren't fun for anyone, us included, right? That just is longer that our cash is tied up, that we're spending more on the project. There's a lot of reasons why delays aren't great, but the thing is, when you make games that have never been made before, like, our games aren't like a neat, 60-minute Euro experience that you can develop really easily. And, like our games have tens of thousands of dollars of artwork and more, well, more than that, but they have so much artwork, so many unique pieces, a lot of unique components, and Stone Saga isn't any different. And so Stone Saga is delayed, but there's a really exciting announcement, which was supposed to go live this week. It's going to go live next week, and it's an invitation to play the beta, either Epoch 1 or Epoch 2 of the beta. And we have done a lot of work. If the last time you checked out Stone Saga was in the Kickstarter or even in the most recent playtest, we have done so much work since then. We've even, we've rewritten the whole rulebook. We hired a guy to Adam to rewrite the rulebook. We have created so many new assets, components. There are dozens of items and structures and just like there's so much involved in Stone Saga that, like, Max and Luke, our designers, and Andrea, our lead artist, have done such a fantastic job creating a world that just looks and feels good. Taryn, our art director, has kind of brought everything together in this cohesive package. And it's thrilling, really, to kind of get to this stage. And so, if you're a Stone Saga backer, you'll see an announcement coming next week, early next week, an invitation to participate in our tabletop simulator beta. And this is a really exciting moment for us, as we've wrapped up a lot of the development of the game. And looking to get your feedback on, hey, is there's things that are broken. And so big milestone for the team with Stone Saga. And so with that, a few things. The pledge manager, we originally were speaking about it closing at the end of the year. We're going to keep it open. Most likely we'll be keeping it open till February or so. Stay tuned for that. But no worries, no rush to get in your Stone Saga pledge before the end of the year. So you're safe there. And I'm trying to think what else with Stone Saga. Yeah. So look forward to next week. Big announcement for our beta, and maybe we can even try to facilitate a live playthrough coming on. So that's where we're at with Stone Saga. And then let me where are we going? Okay, so we did Bithwin. We did Stone Saga. We have these like really cool properties, right? These really cool games, these worlds that have been made. And then Stars of Icarios, right? So Stars, whoa. So to speak about Stars, it's just like the other day we finished funding a GameFound campaign. And Stars was a fantastic GameFound campaign. It was our first. I'm trying to pull it up here. It was our first reprint campaign ever, and so we learned a lot of lessons. What did we ended up raising $759,000 American dollars for 4,400 backers, and this was huge. This was a huge kind of just a huge milestone for us, right? Where we made this game, and Stars was in a unique position of being our studio's first real big game. A ton of lessons learned. So much so that I never want to do a 1.5 version ever again. I never want to have a reason to do a 1.5 version ever again. Our goal going forward with everything is, we have a 1.0 version, and maybe there's a few spelling mistakes in Mythwind that have to get fixed or something, but we're not going to do a big rework like we did with Stars. Really happy to have done a big rework like we did with Stars. It's a great game. We think it has some legs. We think that the core version, I think it's sitting at an 8.1, 8.2 on Board Game Geek. 800 some reviews, top 2,000 games. So we're really happy with how the first game has been received, and just believe that, hey, this is gonna be the best version of the game ever. And so we're like, hey, let's just commit to it. We'll spend a little bit more time and money than maybe we originally thought, investing in it. But then we also, we're like, let's give some new content as well. And so I'm just pulling up here. Yeah, we also created like a really cool terrain kit. I know, because there's a lot of people who like terrain, who like terrain, like, so these cool asteroids. I'm trying to look for them, and these cool asteroids, planets, stuff that can just like elevate the game. And so we closed it up. The plan is to open our pledge manager. So maybe you missed the campaign, or you want to kind of do some more add-ons or pay for shipping. We're going to open the pledge manager in January, after the new year. In the new year, I guess, and we'll give you an opportunity, and we'll keep that open up until we enter into manufacturing, and we need to lock in our final numbers. So that's stars. It's the development of it's going really good. We're just wrapping up on a few things, in terms of just like editing and just making our way through. So for me personally, I'm doing a little bit of development on that game, and the plan is to be finished, I think, in January. And the goal for me is to have our print files off at the end of January. I just sent in our terrain files to start the 3D process there. We've confirmed the new pilot molds. So, there's some manufacturing processes, specifically in the 3D department, that are already starting, and those tend to take the longest time. So the hope is to just get this game out the door pretty quick, like out our door pretty quick, after we feel good about, where everything's at. And, we've slated October 2024 as our delivery date. I have a personal goal of beating that. We'll see if that's the case, but that's a hope for these reprints, where there's quite a bit less work than the original campaign. We would just want to capitalize on that, and provide a really great experience to our backers, and an upgrade experience to our 1.0 backers who were there with us in the beginning. Okay, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Curious, maybe just as an aside, what's yeah, there's a handful of people watching. What's everyone playing this holiday break, this Christmas season? Uh, as type in the chat. I'm curious to hear what games everyone's playing. Video games, board games. Who it's holiday season, so maybe it's like busting out Settlers of Catan with the family. For me, my wife and I were actually staying. We're staying home for Christmas this year. So it's like, I think, the first time we've ever kind of stayed put. We're usually off visiting family, and we were waiting patiently for Baldur's Gate 3 to show up on Xbox, right? So we're big Divinity Original Sin fans, and we co-op those campaigns a lot, and we just waited. Like, I was going to buy a PlayStation 5 just to play it, but we ended up waiting, and it dropped. So we've been going hard. We've been pretty busy the past couple of weeks, but when we haven't been busy, playing Baldur's Gate 3, that's kind of been our pastime game activity. And I actually have in the mail, I have Oathsworn in the mail. I kind of told myself I was never going to buy another big campaign, but I have Oathsworn in the mail, and excited to kind of dive into that with you probably after Baldur's Gate 3. I watched a bunch of rules videos online, just some rules videos, which were great. So James Michael Robson, Stellaris. Oh, Stellaris is a great 4X space game, I believe. I think I actually might even have it on Steam. And then Legends of Eidolon. Oh, I don't know Legends of Eidolon. And of course, Baldur's Gate 3, all great multiplayer games. Yes, I know BG3 and Stellaris definitely are. And we have Giphy06. Continue playing Frosthaven with family over this and the pre. Okay, yeah. So Frosthaven's. I was on the fence. Giphy, maybe you can tell me if you enjoy the new mechanics in Frosthaven. I think there's a little bit of like base building, maybe some crafting elements. I'm curious on what you on what your kind of thoughts on Frosthaven are. Jocelyn and I, we kind of liked Gloomhaven, but we didn't like it enough to purchase Frosthaven. Kate, I'm gonna say your last name wrong. Rietman says assembling my basement after a flood. Oh no, Kate, that's not fun at all. The end result will be a great place to hang out and play games in the future. Yeah, hopefully floods. Man, water damage is the worst. Hopefully you can get that sorted. Chris Shepperson, otherwise known as Shep. He's role-playing game king. Journeys in the Middle of Earth, great game. GKR, heavy hitters. Oh yeah, yep. Terra Mystica are all getting a lot of table time at the moment. Hoping to get some Mythwind on the table too. So no one knows this, and who knows if anyone will ever know this in the future. Chris is one of the first studio people to get a copy of Mythwind for a secret project that may or may not be secret in the future. I guess we'll find out. But that's great to hear, Chris. Locutar Gaming, Earthborn Rangers, yes. Okay, the Xmas expansion for Final Girl, and hopefully Mythwind. Yeah, me too. Hopefully, Earthborn Rangers. I played one game of it. Nathan Liggy, co-designer on Mythwind, has a copy of Earthborn. And so we played the intro. I think I need to dig into it a little bit more. I was so confused at what I was supposed to do. And I know that's funny because we made Mythwind where it's this open-ended game, but Mythwind has a pretty clear that the structure is, I think, a little bit more like ABC than Earthborn, where it's a little bit more nebulous. And so I want to give that another chance. A lot, obviously there's the Earthborn Rangers people. They're I want to say they're friends of the show, when they're friends of the studio. We like them all. The Andrews and everyone over there. So that's great. Oh, Zhao, we'll go for a couple of games of Mage Knight. Mage Knights. Yeah, Mage Knight has been one that I've always eyed up. I think I might get into that. That's a great solo. Okay. And then Giphy. Oh, following up with my question. Thanks, Giphy. You've never played Gloomhaven. Okay, so you jumped straight into Frosthaven. That's interesting. The build mechanics are a nice in-between adventure activity to open up access to more items to power your character up with. That's great. I think Stone Saga, it's going to be this really, really interesting base building, crafting type experience for a lot of people. More so than I think everyone thinks, and more so than maybe even we marketed it as. And how kind of the game has developed is it's really neat. The village building, the civilization type activities of the game, so cool. All right, hey, well, that's good to hear. If most likely won't do a live stream next week, but it's been great to touch base. If you're celebrating Christmas this holiday, happy Merry Christmas. And if not, hopefully you have some time off. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, maybe you can enjoy some snow. There's no snow where I'm at right now, and that's okay because I don't really enjoy snow. Other than that, you'll see a Mythwind announcement about our reprint campaign coming up. But it's been fantastic to do another year with you all, and to for you to be a part of our journey as our little company grows up. Open Owl Studios, we've been making some big strides the past year, and so thank you for being here. Thank you for believing in us, and for purchasing our games, for waiting for our games, and for playing our games. Right, I'm excited. If you get your copy of Mythwind, make sure you're sharing pictures in the Discord and Facebook chat of you playing the game. Post videos. We love to see that content. If there's stories, we love to see that. We love to hear it. We share those things, and for us, that's why we make games. And so this moment that we're entering into with Mythwind, it's so important because sometimes you just get so lost in editing rule books and all these aspects of game design. It's easy to forget that it's hey, it's for community building, for people to have these experiences, either with others or by themselves, where it's just inviting wonder and joy into your lives. And so that's why we do it, and if you can share that, if you remember to share that with us and with the community, that would be fantastic. But all right, hey, well, take care, and we'll see you in 2024.